The Unicorn's Quest. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a majestic creature, a unicorn. It was said that the unicorn was blessed with magical powers and could bring luck to anyone who encountered it. The people of the kingdom revered the unicorn and considered it to be a symbol of peace, purity, and hope. One day, the unicorn had a vision. It saw a dark cloud looming over the kingdom, and the people of the land were in danger. The unicorn knew that it had to act fast to save the kingdom and its people. It decided to embark on a quest to find a powerful gemstone that had the power to dispel the darkness and bring light to the kingdom. The unicorn set out on its quest, traveling through forests and mountains, crossing rivers and valleys. It met many creatures along the way, including wise old owls, mischievous fairies, and even a fearsome dragon. The unicorn asked each of them if they had any information about the gemstone it was seeking. Some were kind and offered advice, while others were cruel and tried to harm the unicorn. Despite the challenges it faced, the unicorn remained determined to complete its mission. It traveled for many days and nights, surviving on little food and water. Finally, it came across a wise old wizard who told the unicorn that the gemstone was guarded by a powerful sorcerer who lived in a faraway land. The sorcerer was known to be cruel and would not give up the gemstone easily. The unicorn continued its journey and finally reached the sorcerer's land. It encountered many obstacles along the way, including giant beasts and deadly traps, but the unicorn was determined to complete its quest. Finally, it arrived at the sorcerer's castle, where it was confronted by the sorcerer's minions. The unicorn used its powers to defeat the minions and entered the castle. The sorcerer was waiting for the unicorn, ready to strike. But the unicorn was prepared, and they engaged in a fierce battle. The sorcerer used his dark magic to try to defeat the unicorn, but the unicorn was able to counter his spells with its own magic. The battle raged on for many hours until finally, the unicorn emerged victorious. The sorcerer surrendered the gemstone to the unicorn, realizing that the unicorn's intentions were pure and that it was on a mission to save the kingdom. The unicorn took the gemstone and journeyed back to the kingdom, where it used the gemstone to dispel the darkness that had been looming over the land. The people rejoiced as the light returned, and the unicorn became a hero in the kingdom. From that day forward, the unicorn was even more revered, and the people of the land celebrated its victory with feasts and festivals. The unicorn had completed its quest and saved the kingdom, but it knew that its work was never done. It continued to travel throughout the land, bringing hope and light wherever it went. And its legend lived on, inspiring generations to come. As for the gemstone, it was placed in the kingdom's treasure room, where it was guarded day and night, for the people knew that it was a symbol of the unicorn's bravery and their own determination to overcome any obstacle. And the unicorn continued to wander the land, spreading magic and hope, for as long as the kingdom stood. The unicorn continued her journey through the forest, her heart filled with determination and hope. She had never been so close to finding the magical flower that could heal her wounded horn, and she could feel it calling out to her from somewhere deep within the forest. As she walked, the unicorn noticed a soft glow coming from a nearby clearing. Curiosity getting the better of her, she cautiously made her way towards it. As she stepped into the clearing, she was awestruck by what she saw. In the center of the clearing stood a magnificent tree, its trunk as wide as a house and its branches reaching up to the sky. The tree was aglow with a soft, ethereal light, and the air around it was thick with magic. The unicorn approached the tree, her heart racing with excitement. As she got closer, she saw that the trunk was covered in intricate carvings and symbols, each one more beautiful than the last. She placed her hoof on the tree and felt a surge of energy course through her body. Suddenly, a voice filled her mind, gentle and wise. "Welcome, young one. I have been waiting for you." The unicorn was amazed. She had never heard of a talking tree before. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am the Tree of Wonders," the voice replied. "I am the keeper of all the magic in this forest. And you, dear one, are on a quest to heal your horn." The unicorn nodded, her eyes fixed on the tree. "Yes," she said. "I am searching for a flower, a magical flower that can heal my horn. Do you know where I can find it?" The Tree of Wonders chuckled softly. "I do indeed, my dear. The flower you seek grows deep within the forest, beyond the mountains and across the river. But beware, for the journey is treacherous, and many have lost their way trying to find it." The unicorn bowed her head, a sense of both excitement and apprehension washing over her. She knew that the journey would not be easy, but she was determined to see it through. "Thank you," she said to the tree. "I will not fail in my quest." The Tree of Wonders smiled. "I know you won't, dear one. You have a brave heart, and I have faith in you. But before you go, take this." With a rustling of leaves, a single leaf fell from the tree and landed in front of the unicorn. The unicorn picked up the leaf, admiring its beauty. It was a deep shade of green, with delicate veins running through it. "What is it?" she asked. "It is a token of my trust," the tree replied. "Carry it with you on your journey, and it will guide you through the darkest of times. And when you find the flower, bring it back to me. I have need of its magic as well." The unicorn nodded, tucking the leaf into her mane. She took one last look at the Tree of Wonders before turning and heading back into the forest. She had a long journey ahead of her, but with the tree's blessing and the leaf's guidance, she knew she could succeed. As she walked, the unicorn felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that the journey ahead would not be easy, but she was determined to see it through to the end. The fate of her horn, and perhaps even the fate of the forest itself, depended on her success. And so, with a steady heart and a steadfast resolve, she set out on the next leg of her quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the days passed, the unicorn traveled through forests, across rivers, and over mountains. His journey was long and arduous, but he never gave up hope. He knew that somewhere, deep within the world, there was a magical flower that held the power to heal the sick and restore the land. One night, as the unicorn rested under a tree, he heard a faint whisper on the wind. It was a voice he knew well, the voice of the wise old owl who had helped him at the beginning of his quest. "Unicorn," the owl said, "you have come so far on your journey, but the flower you seek is still far beyond. You must cross the great desert to reach it, a place of scorching heat and treacherous sandstorms." The unicorn was undeterred. He knew that the quest for the flower was his destiny, and nothing would stop him from completing it. He set out across the desert, his hooves sinking into the hot sand with each step. The sun beat down on him mercilessly, but he pressed on, his eyes fixed on the distant horizon. As he journeyed, the unicorn encountered many dangers. There were scorpions and snakes lurking beneath the sand, and vicious sandstorms that whipped through the desert, blinding him with their fury. But the unicorn refused to give up. He summoned all of his strength and pushed onward, his heart filled with the hope of finding the magical flower that could save his land. Finally, after many days of travel, the unicorn saw a glimmer on the horizon. It was the flower he had been searching for, its petals shimmering in the sunlight like precious gems. With renewed energy, the unicorn raced towards the flower, his heart pounding with joy. He reached out and plucked the flower from its stem, cradling it gently in his mouth. As he made his way back home, the unicorn encountered many of the creatures he had met on his journey. They were amazed to see him carrying the magical flower, and they marveled at his bravery and determination. When the unicorn finally reached his home, he presented the flower to the queen. The flower's magical powers were immediately evident, and soon the land was transformed. The sick were healed, and the barren fields burst forth with new life. The unicorn was hailed as a hero, and the queen named him her loyal advisor. He lived the rest of his days in happiness and contentment, knowing that he had fulfilled his destiny and saved his land. And as the years passed, the people of the kingdom told the tale of the unicorn's quest, a story of bravery, perseverance, and the power of hope.